Why most budgets fail and how to make one that actually works. Most people try budgeting at least once in their life. They download an app, make a spreadsheet, promise themselves they're finally going to be responsible with money. And then 2 weeks later, the budget is completely abandoned. So why does this happen? Are people just bad with money? Actually, no. The truth is most budgets fail because they're built in a way that humans naturally resist. Let's start with the biggest problem. Most budgets are way too strict. People create budgets that look something like this: groceries, $200, entertainment, $0, eating out, $0, fun money, $0. And technically, that might be a perfect budget, but it's also unrealistic. The moment a budget feels like punishment, people stop following it. It's the same reason extreme diets fail. If someone says you can never eat dessert again, it might work for a week, but eventually, reality wins. Budgeting works the same way. A budget that ignores human behavior will almost always fail. To understand why budgeting is hard, we have to understand something about human psychology. Spending money triggers a small release of dopamine in the brain. Dopamine is the same chemical linked to reward and pleasure. That's why buying something new feels exciting. It's also why impulse purchases are so easy. Stores and apps know this. That's why they use things like limited time sales, one-click purchasing, and free shipping thresholds, all designed to make spending feel fast, easy, and rewarding. A budget that ignores this reality is fighting human nature, instead of trying to eliminate spending completely. A better strategy is learning how to control it. Another major reason budgets fail is something called underestimating expenses. When people create a budget, they tend to focus on the obvious things: rent, groceries, utilities. But they forget about the small, irregular expenses that happen every month. Things like coffee runs, birthday gifts, random Amazon purchases, fast food, and subscriptions. Individually, these purchases feel small, but together, they create what many financial experts call money leaks. Small spending that quietly drains your bank account. When these expenses aren't included in a budget, the budget falls apart quickly. So if strict budgets fail, what actually works? One of the simplest and most popular budgeting systems is called the 50-30-20ths rule. It divides your income into 3 basic categories: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings. Needs include things like housing, groceries, and utilities. Wants include entertainment, eating out, and hobbies. And savings includes things like emergency funds, investments, or paying off debt. The reason this system works is because it allows flexibility. Instead of trying to eliminate spending, it simply creates boundaries. You can still enjoy your money. You just stay within the limits. Even the best budgeting system only works if you stick to it. And the easiest way to do that is by building small habits. First, track your spending regularly. You don't need a complicated system. Just knowing where your money goes makes a huge difference. Second, give yourself realistic spending categories. Completely eliminating fun money usually backfires. Instead, allow yourself a reasonable amount. And finally, review your budget every week. Not every year, not every 6 months, every week. Because money habits improve much faster when you pay attention to them regularly. The truth is, most people don't fail at budgeting because they're irresponsible. They fail because the system they're using doesn't work with human behavior. Budgets that are too strict collapse. Budgets that ignore small spending fall apart. But a simple, flexible system can make a huge difference. Because the goal of budgeting isn't to eliminate spending, it's to take control of it.